Yo, people, welcome back to the Fix, Quick Fix. That is, it's your boy Naro here with Ari for the uninitiated. Tell them what Quick Fix all about now, Ari.
Well, if you don't know by now, you just ain't getting it. Joke. So Quick Fix is a roundup of the news that we missed throughout the week. So let's get started. So Joseph Patterson, president of Jamaica's third political party, UIC, organized an anti-vax protest in downtown Kingston Wednesday morning. Patterson and his fellow party members were also demanding the resignation of all 63 elected members of parliament as they tried to make their way to Gordon House. The illegal protests made the news as many of the protesters, including Patterson, were arrested for breaching public orders as no permits were granted for the protests. So, Naro, is Joseph Patterson a hero or an agitator?
I keep saying him last name with an upper St. Andrew accent.
Because, you know, I just feel like it's an upper St. Andrew name. Joseph Patterson.
Yeah, it doesn't bode well for people who will say far from uptown and don't understand the plight of downtown people when you talk to her.
That's what people want to say.
Both could be said, or it could be labeled with both. In that it could be labeled as an agitator because clearly this caused chaos and mayhem, and also it could be labeled inadvertently as a hero by people who seek to label the current administration as a dictatorship and as not having the people's vested interests at heart. Now, in my view, I don't see how this can be a revolution that some people are trying to label it as, because when you really look at the facts, this was started by a political party. It's just, yes, I've never really heard of revolution being started by political parties, because if that is the case, they're going to have their own agendas. And it's clear that this man and his followers had their own agendas. Now, it also seemed that the protesters, or the group of people protesting, also consisted of people who didn't believe in vaccine, didn't believe in the virus, religious groups, all sorts of people. And to me, his message of wanting all 63 members, all 63 MPs to be hand in their resignation, it undercuts whatever the broader goal of this protest was, right? And I think that it was just an opportunity that they seized upon to further make the current administration look bad in the eyes of the people, because I don't think there's been any point since this government has been elected that their poll ratings has been lower. I don't think that at any point during this current government being in charge, I don't think that public perception has been any lower than it is right now. And I think that they sought to take advantage of that, because again, if you really check upon what this group is and what they're trying to do, for them to say that they want all 63 MPs to resign, and then they would take over, so in essence it was a political coup.
Oh, you're using my words. Okay. Okay. Okay.
So fair and fine, you think that there are measures being in place that probably are forcing people to take the vaccine, even though vaccines are not mandatory. But I can understand the feeling of people that feel that there are things being introduced that make them feel like they're being forced to take it. I can understand that. But this a man and this political party, them I know it because them have them own underlying agenda. And why I said he could be seen as a hero is that inadvertently, because he's protesting or seen as an anti-vax protest or a protest against the non-movement day or for the rights of freedom for movement. People will see him as a hero, and that, oh, look at the powers that be, challenging him or treating him wrongly. So people will see him as a hero. But even the process of getting a permit to protest, they have to go to the JCF, not to the Prime Minister. Yes, there are some people out there who say, oh, the JCF answers to the Minister of Security, who answers to the Prime Minister. But I really want to ponder this. I really think that Andrew sign up on every permit issued in the country. Really and truly. Just ask yourself that. So yes, there may have been some difficulty in them getting this permit from the JCF. It would be difficult.
I mean, not to cut you, but it's going to be difficult because you have to apply for a permit like at least 3 days in advance, and there are no permits being granted for any sort of gathering because of the Disaster Risk Management Act that is currently in place because of the pandemic. So I saw somebody tweeted or a post was made and somebody posted saying that when we need permission from the leaders to protest the leaders.
I saw it.
And it's like, that's not the point of it. The point of it, the police need and if you're going to protest, you need, or if you're going to gather whatever, you need to let the police know. The police need to be aware because traffic flow, need for direct traffic flow, they need to have sort of law and order, because that is what people forgetting, it's about law and order. So fine, it's a kind of oxymoron to say illegal protest, but it still have to fall under the grounds of law and order, which was still kind of existing in this country, I guess. I don't know, but overall, you finish?
Go ahead.
Because I'm saying they made him into a political martyr, or he made himself. Joseph Patterson made himself into a political martyr, which I'm sure is going to bode well for him if he's trying to contest in the next general election, to kind of say, oh, I put my body on the line and I'm fighting for people. So it's all in a grand set and a grand
people's
scheme.
Freedoms.
Yeah, it's a whole grand scheme of things to bolster himself as some sort of the next leader, a different kind of leader, or whatever the case may be. And I'm sure people are falling for it. If there is anything to say about the pandemic, I'm thinking maybe I can buy into this, because it's a plan to really and truly destabilize the country. Like, people are pouncing on this issue of the pandemic to try and destabilize country. I'm seeing it in Haiti. Haiti's definitely destabilized, and the horrible images of Haitian refugees are trying to make it in across the Texas borders, and man pan horse I use whip for I guess rein them in. Mr. Patterson, I believe, is seeing this opportunity for what it is, to bolster himself for his political agenda. I believe that the greatest people aren't in politics. The great, good, true people who have the best interests of people at heart aren't in politics. They're philanthropists. So I say, take that for what you will. If you want to use, or if you want to see Mr. Patterson as some political martyr, as he's being thwarted by the government or whatever, then you can fall for that lie. But I don't think he's a hero. I think he's trying to make himself like some great political, I guess this is his origin story of a great political leader. I mean, I'm sure it's going to make good for the history books. But
I've already seen people saying that they're going to vote for it.
My last point on it. People read or watch The Animal Farm. It's a really good book. It's a really good movie. And you can draw the allegory of the Animal Farm and what is happening now.
I will give him kudos for this. He must score more political points than the PNP right now. I've seen more people express that they're willing to vote for them than the PNP in the last couple of days. So kudos to him. Yeah. He scored some political points.
And it's sad because, in all honesty, I believe that we really do need an opposition party, and the PNP isn't a strong opposition party. So of course, this new shiny party is going to I guess it's setting itself up. So
Ari,
whatever the
on
case
the back
may
of
be,
this protest, there was another protest within the PNP them a PNP protest, the PNP leadership. This is how much in tatters they are.
Anyways, Elephant Man to the rescue. Wonder if he can rescue me. Overall. So in a recent interview with Tina Evans' YouTube series Next Friday, Elephant Man revealed that Michael Jackson actually thanked him for performing with his sister Janet Jackson in 2004, which was arguably one of the worst years in her career. In February of the same year, she performed at the Super Bowl halftime show with Justin Timberlake when he tore off a pasty, revealing her breast on live TV to millions of people. Janet's career suffered immeasurably, including being slut-shamed and banned from performing at the Super Bowl ever again. However, she performed at the BET Awards with Elephant Man in June, who was at the pinnacle of his career at that point, having achieved massive crossover success. So he posted a clip of this performance on IG as they performed their single All Night remix. So Elephant Man shared that Michael Jackson actually called him after the performance to thank him for performing with his sister. Elephant Man also revealed that Michael Jackson loved his music and even sang a couple of lines of Pond the River to him. Isn't this a cool story, Naro?
It is a cool story. You know, so all I go on, for as much flack that Elephant Man seems to be getting as the years go by, I think mostly from the younger generation, not me included. I call him, is him a Jack Sparrow, I call him a pirate. But even so, I've always respected the work that Elephant Man has done within the genre. When it comes on to performing on that stage and giving that energy during performing, him no call energy god for nothing, you see me? So kudos to Elephant Man. I believe the story 100%.
Yeah, of course.
I don't think it's outside of the realms of possibility.
Yeah.
It's something different when you see a Jamaican dancehall artist, the caliber of an Elephant Man, performing in full flight. And I'm sure Michael Jackson, as one of the most preeminent performers ever to have graced the earth, probably did see that and say, yo, respect. You know what I mean? And probably could have seen and acknowledge what
he
that
actually did. He
for
actually
his
loved
sister.
the performance too. Like he commended him on the performance.
A big up Elephant Man. I know him have a whole heap of legal troubles, whole heap of baby mother drama, whole heap of, kids. But big him up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No man, like this story 100% like I was reading the article, Dancehall Mag, shout out. I didn't get to watch the YouTube series, but I will. But I saw the clip that was posted on his IG page, and I was like, Jesus, like Elephant Man was a big deal, like a huge deal.
Yeah.
And to perform with Janet during that time again was probably arguably one of the worst. Like it was bad. I remember in 2004 it was this whole thing, and I'm like, what's the big deal? I remember like I was in sixth grade transitioning to high school that same year, and I just remember it being this big deal, and I was like, why is it such a big deal? Like she performing like her breast, and I'm like, is it for purpose? Like I couldn't understand it. I remember watching when she was on Oprah and she revealed it. I said, but why was it such a big deal? But I guess
it's just a titty, right?
Yeah, they what do you call it again? The shame police, I guess, like the conservative media at the time was very big and like, oh my God, she's ruining society and it's overly sexual and whatever. But it was that, of course, her home BET, welcomed her back home, and she gave a really good performance, and it was nice. So this story is really cool to see, and to see that Elephant Man and Janet Jackson have that shared history is amazing. So again, it's impressive to see that Elephant Man he was really a part of pop culture history like that.
He was. Our one, Elephant Man, it could be argued, was the closest of joining the Sean Paul Shaggy class.
He kind of did, because he was with Bad Boy. He signed with Bad Boy.
There was that for a hot second, you see me? So he never quite reached them, but
Puff
he
Daddy
was
never
very.
He
looked so. I look at that's an overall problem when our dancer artists them signed to these hip hop labels.
No.
But our one, he was the closest, and for for a time, he was seen as that nigga.
Yeah.
International in a
And
dance.
even like years after, because years like recent history, he performed at BT Awards again for a whole Jamaican segment, and it was this massive performance. So I mean, it's just really cool. So it's a really cool story. It's nice to have that story.
Faithful.
Yeah. So Elaine to leave MVP. So some sports news for you, Naro. Elaine Thompson-Herah is reportedly set to leave her track club MVP and one of her sponsors, Nike. So Elaine had a successful season, especially after a fantastic showing at the 2021 Olympics this year, successfully defending both her 100-meter and 200-meter sprint titles. So according to Nationwide Sports, Thompson-Herah sent a letter to MVP and her major shoe sponsor Nike, stating her intent to leave both parties. So she reportedly set to sign a new contract with PUMA in a mega deal. Stephen Francis and Bruce James, coach and president of MVP respectively, have remained mum on the subject when asked by news outlets about the situation, as they indicated that negotiations are currently underway. So what do we make of this new news? This new era for Miss Era?
We're not gonna have mixed feelings. I have mixed feelings in that I am glad that she is making the move from Nike to PUMA.
Me and you have the same thoughts.
You do it?
Yes. Like I was like, I'm not sure about MVP.
Yeah,
but babe, let me go first, because I'm like, I'm not sure about MVP.
All right,
like, I'm not sure about.
Sure. Do you interrupting thing?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I want to say, I don't want to seem like me a follow you. But I said, I'm not sure about her leaving MVP, that they've done so much for her. But I like that Nike thing, because Nike really disrespect her this year. Like, them not even post her if say congrats. So, you know, for her, if she moved to PUMA, I'm like, yeah, I'm with that one. But I'm not really sure about this one. And it's reported that she's her husband, who is a spring coach at Jago, is going to be her new coach. So I mean, you know, it takes a lot in the sport. It's a whole complex dynamic in the sport, and especially the track industry. You know, I mean, MVP serve as a good sports track club, and I'm sure like an agent, and you know, all the mechanics, behind the scene mechanics of really being a sports star. I guess they served her well, but you know, I guess all good things must come to an end. But I'm not sure about it. Let's see how it play out. But yeah, I'm with the PUMA thing, and I hope PUMA pay her good, and I hope PUMA celebrate her the way that she should be celebrated. That's it.
As I said, all good things must come to an end, but I hope that her dominating the track and getting closer to that world record is not coming to an end. I hope that this move does not threaten that, because it's factual at this point that she has had the most success under MVP, and if we go change that now, we've seen several instances where athletes change, you know, coaches, and them change camps, and then them fortunes them dip. You know what I mean? And the fact that is our husband coaching her, I don't know about his coaching pedigree like that. I don't know. I like it for the fact that it kind of keep the money in house. You know, when you say you just keep it amongst the family and all them things there. So I can see the good with that as well, but I can, you know, sort of question if it will work or not. I don't know. But yeah, big ups to her on the mega deal with PUMA. PUMA is a brand that seems to be more in tune with Caribbean countries and Jamaica over the years. They are the big sponsors of Usain Bolt, and Elaine has made it known that she wants to be like Bolt, and so joining PUMA in a brand deal is a further step in that direction, and I think she'll be properly appreciated
and celebrated
over there, as opposed to how she was treated by Nike, especially seeing their treatment of Shakira.
Especially that. So, you know, I guess it would heighten the rivalry between them two either way too. So I mean, I wish Elaine all the best.
I wish her all the best.
And I mean, you know, Mr. Stephen Francis and the MVP club is a damn good club, and they've done a lot for us in the sport sporting economy.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, hope that they can resolve something amicably. And, you know, we don't know what is happening, but we're gonna watch and see.
Hopefully this is a step in her becoming a superstar within the sporting art. She's a star within track and field. Hopefully this will enable her to take that next step, that boat-like step.
She
to
needs to be
superstardom.
cement into pop culture now. Like, she really needs to be a part of the zeitgeist conversation. Like, she need to come on Jeopardy. And that we need to see.
Much like how Shankyberry is, but with the accomplishments to
like,
boot.
I want she and Shelly and, you know, Sharika them to be a part of pop culture conversation now. So watching it. Anyway, guys, that does it for Quik Fix. Thank you so much for watching. Like, share, and leave a comment down below.
Down there, so. Yeah. Right there, so. Draw me that up.
Send below.